relentless aggression. He got both speed and power.
And another big shot. That's it. The fight's all over.
Jaw-clenching fights all ending in a knockout. He was the fighter Manny Pacquiao never wanted to face. A southpaw with a perfect knockout record who broke Erik Morales' nose in sparring and was so dangerous that Oscar de la Hoya's team kicked him out after just 2 days. Even Fredie Roach publicly declared him the threat for Pacquiao's throne. 2 months later, he was dead. If Edwin Valero had lived, Manny Pacquiao might never have become the 8-division champion we celebrate today. This is the story of one of the most terrifying boxer. This is the story of Edwin Valero.
Here he is, the undefeated Edwin Dinamita Valero.
Edwin El Inca Valero was born in the slums of Mérida, Venezuela, on December 3, 1981. His father abandoned the family when Edwin was 7, forcing the boy to sell fruit on street corners to survive. At 12, he found work at a local boxing gym, sweeping floors and watching fighters train. That's when he discovered what he was born to do. Valero's amateur career was legendary in Venezuela. 86 wins, 6 losses, 57 knockouts. He became national champion 3 consecutive years. But it was his ferocity that made him unforgettable. Opponents who'd never been knocked down suddenly found themselves on the canvas. This wasn't just talent. This was violence incarnate. At 19, everything almost ended. February 5th, 2001. Speeding to reach his father who'd been in a car accident, Valero crashed his motorcycle at 50 miles per hour. No helmet. He flew 20 feet through the air, fractured his skull, suffered a cerebral hemorrhage. Doctors removed a blood clot from between his scalp and skull. They told him boxing was over. He turned pro anyway, 16 months later. July 9th, 2002. Valero's professional debut lasted 2 minutes. His opponent crumpled in the corner from the sheer volume of punches. It wasn't a fight. It was an execution. Then, something unprecedented happened. Valero won his next 17 fights the exact same way. First-round knockouts. All of them. On February 25th, 2006, he shattered a 100-year-old record, 18 consecutive first-round knockouts, surpassing young Otto's 1906 mark. Boxing had never seen anything like it. But here's what made Valero truly terrifying. He fought with brain damage and a blood clot still lodged in his head. That motorcycle accident should have ended his career, and it did. Sort of. New York's Athletic Commission banned him after a routine MRI revealed the clot. Nevada wouldn't license him. California wouldn't license him. Golden Boy Promotions signed him after 12 fights, tried to put him on HBO, and watched their plans collapse when medical boards refused to clear him. So Valero fought in the shadows. Argentina, Panama, Venezuela, Japan, Ghana, France. Places where regulations were looser and money talked louder than medical concerns. And he kept knocking people out. Every single fight. The YouTube videos started circulating. Sparring footage that seemed impossible. There's Valero at 23 years old, just 12 fights into his pro career, giving Erik Morales absolute hell in preparation for Morales' first fight with Pacquiao. Morales was in his prime, a 4-division champion, one of Mexico's greatest warriors. Valero broke his nose. The sharp southpaw counters, the relentless pressure, the power that cracked through Morales' legendary chin. One witness wrote, "I don't know how a person summons punch after punch with such aggression. Whatever was driving him was right below the surface. Oscar De La Hoya brought Valero into spar before his Pacquiao fight. 2 days. That's all De La Hoya's team could handle. His brother allegedly screamed at Valero's trainer, "Kenny, get this monster out of here." Fredie Roach himself invited Valero to spar with Manny Pacquiao. No footage was ever released, but insiders described it as explosive and competitive. This was the rising Pac-Man, and Valero was holding his own. August 5th, 2006. Panama City. Valero finally got his world title shot against WB, a super featherweight champion, Vicente Mosquera. For 19 fights, Valero had never gone past the second round. Nobody knew if he had the stamina for 12. The fight was savage. Valero knocked Mosquera down twice in the first round. Looked like it would be over immediately. Then in the third round, Mosquera landed a counter that sent Valero to the canvas. The only knockdown of his career. For the first time, Valero had to dig deep. Had to prove he was more than just explosive power. 10 brutal rounds. Mosquera's toughness versus Valero's relentless assault. Finally, at 2 minutes of round 10, the referee stopped it. Valero was world champion. He defended that title 4 times, all by knockout. Then moved up to lightweight in 2009. Fought Antonio Pitalua for the vacant WBC lightweight title in Texas. Pitalua came in with 14 straight knockouts. It lasted 49 seconds of round 2.
Short right hand knocks Pitalua right on his back and he's in trouble.
3 knockdowns. Done.
Down he goes. In retreat, about 7 unanswered punches, and that's it. It's over, just like that.
27 fights, 27 wins, 27 knockouts. Perfect. The only fighter in WBC history to win every fight by knockout. But by now, darker truths were emerging. Valero wasn't just fighting with a brain injury. He was fighting while addicted to coke and alcohol. His coach later revealed Valero would drink all night, come to training the next morning, and still demolish sparring partners. "It's like he's possessed," the coach said. Multiple sparring partners were knocked unconscious. Mikey Garcia, future lightweight champion, sparred with Valero and said he hit harder than anyone he'd ever faced. There was violence outside the ring, too. September 2009, Valero was arrested for allegedly assaulting a man's mother and sister. March 25th, 2010. His wife, Jennifer, was hospitalized with broken ribs and a punctured lung. Valero claimed she fell downstairs. Authorities didn't believe him, but Jennifer backed his story, terrified. Valero was released with a restraining order he immediately violated. Nobody stopped him. Why? Because Valero was Venezuela's hero. He had President Hugo Chávez's face tattooed across his chest, along with the Venezuelan flag. He was close to the regime. Some claimed he received preferential treatment from police because of these connections. His manager begged authorities to detain him for psychiatric help. They let him walk. February 6th, 2010. Monterrey, Mexico. Valero's second lightweight title defense against Antonio DeMarco. In round 2, an accidental elbow opened a horrific gash over Valero's right eye. Blood poured down his face. Most fighters would have wilted. Valero accelerated. He threw combinations with blinding speed. His volume overwhelming DeMarco. 9 rounds of systematic destruction before DeMarco's corner retired him. It was the most complete performance of Valero's career. For the first time, he'd overcome real adversity, shown he was more than just power. 27-0, all knockouts. Only 28 years old. The boxing world realized this wasn't just a knockout artist. This was an elite fighter entering his prime. 3 days later, promoter Bob Arum started building the fight. 6 days later, Fredie Roach told the media, "I'm thinking about it, and the #1 contender in my mind right now is Valero." Roach was bullish. Valero is licensed in Texas. If we do Valero there, we could sell out the whole place. The fight made perfect sense. Both were southpaws. Both were relentless pressure fighters. Both had knockout power. It would have been chaos. Valero needed to move up 12 pounds from lightweight to welterweight. But he was already vacating his lightweight belt to campaign at junior welterweight. The trajectory was clear. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Styles make fights. Pacquiao was ascending toward his legendary status, but he'd struggled with certain styles before. Valero was everything Pacquiao excelled against, but magnified to a terrifying degree. The same constant pressure Pacquiao used on opponents would be coming back at him. From a bigger, equally fast southpaw who'd never been stopped, who'd never even been hurt, except for that one mascara knockdown 4 years earlier. Would Pacquiao have won? Probably. His experience, his ring IQ, his legendary conditioning gave him every advantage. But Valero had that one weapon Pacquiao's other opponents lacked. He genuinely didn't care if he got hurt. Brain damage, cocaine addiction, psychological demons. Valero fought like a man with nothing to lose because he truly had nothing to lose. That makes someone dangerous in ways technique can't counter. It never happened. 2 months after beating DeMarco, on April 18, 2010, police found Jennifer Valero's body in a Valencia hotel room. 3 stab wounds. The next morning, April 19th, another inmate found Valero hanging in his cell. He'd used his sweatpants to hang himself from a bar. They got him down while he still showed signs of life, but couldn't save him. Dead at 1:30 a.m., he was 28 years old. The boxing world was stunned. Pacquiao moved on to other opponents, racking up victories that built his legend as an 8-division champion. He fought bigger names, earned more money, cemented his status as one of the greatest fighters of all time. But there are those who still wonder, what if Edwin Valero had gotten help? What if someone had intervened before April 18th? What if that fight with Pacquiao had actually happened? Valero left behind 2 children, 8 and 5 years old, orphaned by their father's violence. His wife Jennifer, only 24, became another tragic statistic. 27 perfect fights mean nothing measured against 2 destroyed lives. Edwin Valero remains boxing's most haunting what-if. Not because we wonder if he could have been great. He was already great. We wonder what monster we were all watching, what we celebrated while it destroyed everything around it. 27-0, all knockouts, perfect record, perfect destruction. And Manny Pacquiao, somewhere in his legend, carries the ghost of the one fight that never happened. The one opponent whose demons were even more relentless than his fists.